Yo, let me ask you something quickly. What is the greatest thing a Christian can do? Is it to preach, to pray for hours, to do miracles, or to have deep theology? No, it's to love. The Apostle Paul says in 1 Corinthians 13, verse 1 to 3, if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but I have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but I have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but I have not love, I gain nothing. Think about that. You can do everything right, but if you don't have love, it's empty and meaningless. Jesus didn't say they'll know you're my disciples if you're moral or smart or bold. Jesus said in John 13, verse 35, by this all people will know that you are my disciples, if you have love for one another. Jesus gave us a new command, not an option, a command. John 13, verse 34 says, a new commandment I give to you, that you love one another, just as I have loved you. You also are to love one another. And oh, how did Christ love us? Romans 5, verse 8 says, but God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. He didn't wait for us to clean ourselves up. He loved us in our sin, in our rebellion, in our dirt, to our salvation. That's the standard, and that's the love we're called to reflect. Look at the cross for a moment. What do you see? You see love that bleeds, love that forgives, and love that stays. Luke 23, verse 34 shows that Jesus, even in his intense suffering, says, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. As they mocked him, beat him, and crucified him, he chose forgiveness. Ephesians 5 verse 2 now calls us to this. And walk in love as Christ loved us and gave himself up for us, a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. Real love costs us something. If it's convenient, it's not Christ-like. Love when it's hard. Love when it's undeserved. That's the way of the cross. The most spiritual people aren't the loudest or the most well-known. The truest Christians are the most loving. 1 Peter 4 verse 8 says, above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. And likewise, 1 John 3 verse 14 says it even stronger. We know that we have passed out of death into life. We know that we have been saved. Why? Because we love our brothers. Whoever does not love abides in death. These are strong words. You cannot claim to walk with Christ while walking in constant hatred, pride, or coldness. If Jesus is alive in you, his love must be alive in you too. The test of love isn't how you treat your friends, it's how you treat your enemies. Luke 6 verse 27 to 28 has a high calling. But I say to you who hear, this is our Lord speaking, love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. That's not soft, that's Christ-like. He loved the people who nailed him to the cross, and he calls us to do the same. Romans 12 verse 20 says, to the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. For by so doing, you will heap burning coals on his head. If you want to be radical, forgive those who hurt you. Love those who wrong you. That's how we actually put the gospel in action. Love isn't just words. It has to move and it has to serve. 1 John 3 verse 18 says, little children, let us not love in word or talk, but in deed and in truth. Don't just say you love, show it. Help the lonely, be kind in secret, forgive quickly, carry someone's burden. Proverbs 21 verse 13 says, whoever closes his ear to the cry of the poor will himself call out and not be answered. Every act of mercy is a reflection of God. Every quiet kindness is a declaration. Jesus lives in me. Don't just believe in love. Become love. Let the Spirit of Christ reshape your heart. Let the cross humble you and let your words, your time, your money, and your relationships be soaked in love. Colossians 3 verse 14 as a beautiful reminder. Above all these, put on love, which binds everything together in perfect harmony. Because in the end, it won't be your intelligence, your platform, your popularity, anything that God remembers. That's all straw and wood that will be burned up on the last day. It will be how well you loved. It will be gold that is purified through fire. 1 Corinthians 13 verse 13 says, So now faith, hope, and love abide. These three. But the greatest of these is love. God bless.